Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today we're going to talk about the banking crisis is here, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't been paying attention, you haven't noticed there's some of the people that run the banks are actually stealing money out of accounts. The bank themselves are hijacking customers' accounts. Banks are closing, hijacking customers' accounts by default. Well, we got that and so much more. What happens if your money disappears from your bank account, ladies and gentlemen? Do you have your duffel bag of cash ready? Well, we got a lot to talk about because you need to be diversified. And welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here in the SSN Nation, the Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. So please share the videos because you never know who's looking for information and who does not even know about it. They're going on about their own merry way, working hard, slaving away, living paycheck to paycheck, not realizing they could be on the brink of disaster because they haven't diversified where their money is sitting. Think about this. There are people right now who have money sitting in the bank and it's been siphoned off and they don't even realize it. We're going to show you an article we went over on Monday, but nonetheless, I got to start out with something else first because we have to have assets, ladies and gentlemen, outside of the banking system. So that way we receive funds outside of the banking system. It's that simple. So here's the thing. I'm going to talk about that, but being diversified is also being diversified with your asset holdings. This right here is real estate I'm beginning to talk about simply because it's pre-construction. It's the Wave project. Mrs. Cool was kind enough to send me over a video. And sadly, this video is nothing but a mistake in my opinion. I'm going to show you this video and then we'll talk about it. But first, let me see who's in the house. Laverne Penix is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream where it's members only that can be in the chat room tonight. He has that beautiful icon. So I want to thank you so much for your support. I appreciate it. And he says his tagline, hello, SSN Nation. I hope everyone is doing well. I received a notification and the trailer. That's one person this evening. Thank you so much. And make sure, everybody, you do a one piece to that like button. I greatly appreciate it. Victor Marrero is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with the icon next to his name. And he brings his tagline, hello, all. Let's do this. That's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen. Get your pen, pad, and paper ready because you never know what's going to happen. Gold at all-time record highs. You know why? There's a sign of a few things happening. First of all, gold is supposed to go by inflationary rates. So if inflation goes up in 2020 and 2021, 20%, then gold was supposed to go up 20%. But did it? Unlikely. If the cost of living increases another 10% in 2021, then gold should have risen another 10%. But did it? It did not. Gold and silver and the precious metals that people do, quote unquote, it's based on inflation. That is a lie because all you have to do is go back to 1970, look at the gold rate, look at the silver rate, and then find out the inflationary rate, the real rate, that is actually for the last 50 years. and you will see gold and silver should be thousands of dollars higher. Clearly, but they are not. So it's a nice thing to see gold rise like it has, but unfortunately, in order to partake, you have to increase your dollar cost average up by buying more at the higher price. So once again, we need to be liquid. Assets pay us, put it in our duffel bag. Don't have to go to the bank. So now I'm going to show this video because Laverne Penix here is also known in this YouTube street as Mr. Cool. And the better half, Mrs. Cool, said, check out this video. Here it is. Every owner of the Wave project inside Vistacana. This is all we have. Check this out. Let me know what you guys think, because this is kind of crazy when you really think about it. Here we go. I know. Isn't that kind of crazy? Isn't this crazy? This is the only, they send out a video and that's it. 19 seconds, and it moves real fast so you can't even see anything. I don't even know what this is behind the wave, which actually, I guess this is the front of the wave, which it might be. I don't even know what it is across the street, quite frankly. I don't think it's Panorama Lake. So I don't know what the project is across the way, but let me slow this down a little bit, because the wave, I didn't realize that the townhouses were going to be in a separate area. I thought it was part of the condo building itself, if I'm not mistaken. So let's see if we can slow this down. If anybody knows what's across the street, let me know, because I don't know what that complex is. But look at this. I see stairs on the outside, which I don't know if it's just makeshift for building this. These look like condominiums to me, but are we only 2 stories high? Because some of this is supposed to be delivered at the end of 2024, I believe. And even if they said it's going to be delivered by the end of 2025, I would still be highly skeptical. Look at this. They still have a long way to go. And if this is the townhome section, I don't really know what section this is. Maybe Mr. Cool knows what section this is, but this is making no sense to me. If we're going 2 levels, that's great, because if we're going 3 or 4 levels, then we got issues, big time issues. This would not be delivered for another 2 years. So I'm just saying, so maybe this is the townhome versions. But look at this. This video is almost over. This is all they show. I mean, like, you can't even tell where you're at in this complex. That's how crazy this is. I mean, look at this. That's all they do. They don't even walk in the building to show you anything. I mean, this is kind of disgusting. Give you aerials. Look, it just replays. Look how fast this is. This is absurd. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just had to show everybody that's owners of the wave. At least maybe you have an update, getting to see something that your money's going towards. And we have Victor Marrero. Yield max per share dividend rate is out. Lots of nice surprises. Everyone making money while sleeping, doing the salsa dance. I knew you would, Victor Marrero. I have not looked, but you know that's what we're going to do here, ladies and gentlemen, because once again, notice we talked about real estate. Notice now we're going to go to the stocks because we're diversified. That's what you have to do out here in this real world. And that's what we tell everybody here in the Stop Struggling Now Nation. You want to stop struggling now? Then this is what we have to do. Byzantine Red, welcome to the Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Great to see you once again. And hey, you, love this. Thank you so much, man. Very, very happy for you to be in the house. Eric, I don't understand these people making 10 to 20-second videos without explanation. Trust me, you aren't the only one getting these. Exactly, man, exactly. I don't get it myself. I do get it, though. Once I've moved into the developer side, the upside of this whole situation, builder, getting titles, once I've learned how this process works, now I've learned so much. And now I know all these guys are full of it. Every single one of them. All these builders, I have to sadly say, that's why I had to erase everybody off the top 5. because I'm finding out these guys are doing all kind of things. What I mean by that is a simple thing like this. Come to find out, there's a lot of people buying properties like how you may say promissory notes. You might say, will owner carry back? Used to be a term where the owner will finance it for you, but you sign a contract so you can actually do whatever you want to do on the property. They got all these funky ass things, but see, here's the problem. If you don't have the title in your name already and you do these kind of deals, that means when you finish building, you still have to transfer title. And there's different titles in the DR. Unlike in America, if you have a title, then you're the owner. In the DR, they have what I call subtitles, meaning because we have family members throughout the years, it was easier to just go down and record a different type of title to transfer it to family members. So now when somebody shows up and you transferred it to 5 different family members, that's fine. But the problem is if one person or 3 people want to sell their land and not everybody, then that means the title's only going to be those 3 pieces of land. The other 2 you can't get. You have to negotiate with those 2 people. And obviously they're going to say, I want more money. So now that I found out they're doing that is how things can get transferred and hemmed up. That explains why damn near everybody is late. But here's the other problem. Here's the thing. If I buy land right now today, traditionally, it's going to take me 3 to 6 months, not only to transfer title, but then I still got to get 3 to 6 months for permits. So that's already half a year gone, and it could be a year gone. So if I tell somebody I'm going to have something finished in 2.5 years, and now I finally got title where I could actually, and permits where I can actually start building a year later, 1.5 years later, potentially, there's no way I can build in 1 year or 1.5 years. That's not going to happen. So all that time is wasted. They got all these different deals going on out here. And I'm like, are you serious? I'm about to exploit you guys because I know now what I'm looking for, and that's what I'm coming hunting for. And once I get them, we're going to have stuff up in like 12 to 14 months. And you guys can hear me talking in my voice. You heard it. I have word today. Word today. Contracts coming tomorrow. SSN Nation takeover is about to commence in a big way. So you guys are going to come along for the ride, but I got a lot of work to do. I started implementing plan B, and then I got the call today because I do have a plan B. Now, let's see what else we're going to talk about here shortly. I'm going to go to remove that video because it was so disgusting after they're late and they send people some sort of, we're standing in the middle of the project and scan around in less than 20 seconds. Why aren't they walking through saying, hey, this is where the condos are going to be. This is where the pool's going to be. Why don't they start outlining? This is when we're going to be finished, we think, in X amount of time. I know why they're not going to do this. Because they already told people at the end of December 2025 and December 2024. And everybody that just saw that little 19-second video knows they will not be done, even if we just count that row. They will not be done in 7-8 months. What is this? This is March. So they have 9 months to go. And that's the townhouse units. I don't even know. I didn't even realize they had townhouses like this. So where's the condos at? That's supposed to be finished at the end of 2024. I mean, that's what they should be showing unless they told the townhouse people the same story. All I know is they're lying out here and they're doing stuff haphazardly. And again, I started taking notice of how long people are taking to build things. And it's 5 years, in some cases, 6 years. It's 4 to 6 years in damn near 90% of the cases. We didn't know this 4 years ago, nor did we know COVID was coming. But the point is, even after COVID, here it is almost 2 years later, and these guys still haven't built projects from 2020 that was supposed to have deliveries in 2022. Are we serious right now? But now I know why. I do know why, because there's a situation. First, I'm doing something myself. I know what the deal is, though. So I can't sell this property in a pre-construction fashion, telling people, oh, it'll be ready in 2.5 years or 2 years. I already know it's going to take 1 year to 1.5 years to transfer title. So if I can't sit there and tell people, like I said earlier, I can't sit there and lie and go, oh, hey, man, it's 2.5 years it's going to be built. It's not. The odds of that happening is pretty slim. Some miracle would have to happen where they go, hey, they call me up at 6 months and go, hey, Eric, it's transferred. You can go get your permits now. That's about the only thing that could happen. Otherwise, it's not going to happen. These are not the correct titles. These are family members who have transferred title amongst family members. That means everybody, they have to go back and sign off. I mean, this is what we call not a clear title, is what I'm saying. It's a title, but it's not clear. So that could be a year, year and a half. So therefore, I have to do 36-month deals. But luckily, I can't give away some secret sauce. But luckily, we have plans for all of this. Now, I want to show you guys. Let's get to the banking situation. Thank you to Brian P., who has sent me some things on the banking scenario. This always helps, ladies and gentlemen, when you have good people in the right places trying to share knowledge and information with others. This is the American Banker. In fact, let me put a link down below. This right here is what they're talking about, why the torrid pace of branch closings has cooled. I want to hear why too. Because banks having branches is almost ridiculous in today's environment, considering how good the internet is. There is no reason I should be showing up to open up a bank account, but I do know why. Know your customer is a thing, right? They want to see you face to face sometimes, but there's a lot of places right now online that you don't need to show up. You do have to send in your ID and all that, but it is what it is. Now, let's see what this is. All right. The nation's largest bank said it would add more than 500 branches by 2027. Now, does anybody understand why a bank would add some branches? See, when a bank says I'm going to add branches, I start getting worried. Why do I get worried? Because they are thinking they have figured out a way to monetize that. Because before they were seriously going, man, there's hardly anybody coming in here. We're paying people like whatever it is, I don't know, $25, $30 an hour, plus bank managers, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And people just come in here to withdraw a deposit. And we could have ATM machines to do that. And then we have people who come in here and open up a business bank account. But you can actually do that online if we automate it. So why are we hanging on to all these branches that we have to pay every month overhead for? So it's very interesting that they've closed thousands of branches and now want to come back. So that means Jamie Dimon, he is in the know. There must be a reason, you would think. I haven't figured that reason out. It makes no sense to me. But we will find out when the time comes. Here it is right here. There are fewer than 80,000 today. All right. In 2009, there was nearly 100,000 branches. So you guys are understanding. It's weird that they closed all the banks, cut back, and now they're sitting here like, oh, we don't care about this anymore. This is very, very interesting, and I would be very worried. So what I'm going to do is put this link down below in the chat room so everybody can check this out, because the banking crisis is here. Now, I will do one thing, and I will go with a guess. Here's my guess. Let's just say you have 1,000 branches, and let's say the average deposit is $2,500. Let's just say it's that. Or the average balance at the bank is $2,500. Let's say it's that. So it would make sense that they go, okay, why don't we add additional branches? Because we know for each one we add, that's $2,500 on average per customer that we acquire. And that gives us X amount of assets under management. That's the only thing I can think of. Derivative reasons. Because now you're going to say we have X amount of money, so therefore our borrowing power is stronger, or that means we can leverage that into loaning more to get our a higher interest rate back or something. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, but that's high risk. That is high risk. You don't know what's going to happen out here, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just saying we're going to start it that way. All right. Because this is getting ridiculous. And this right here is what I've been telling you guys for damn near 6 years. What you're about to see next. When the top 10%ers get in trouble, it never fails. They get bailouts and everybody doesn't blink an eye. Meanwhile, if you said, hey, let's give our get our Social Security back up to where it needs to be, or let's get universal health care, all of a sudden people freak out. But I'm like, do you understand what they're doing out here? And here's a perfect example. You can't do universal health care. You can't have free education or college education, but yet a bank that has misappropriated and misused funds, they have no problem getting $1 billion cash infusion. It's like the capitalist society that we're in a pseudo, I don't even know what to call this, because it's not socialist, it's not communism. I don't know what this is called. It's called welfare for the rich is what I call it. Look at this. This bank that should be out of business got 1 billion cash infusion. And oh my, the former Treasury Secretary, the punk ass Steve Mnuchin, is on board collecting checks. And the reason why I call him a punk ass is because when he came in and bought banks under the 2007, 2008, you know what he did? He rummaged through the elderly. Listen very carefully. The elderly that had loans, he rummaged through, and then he preyed upon them to try to get their homes. It worked. That's why I call him a punk ass. He's on the board. Can you believe this crap? This is so disgusting. 1 billion cash infusion for this bank that's on the stock exchange, by the way. Keep that in mind. New York Community Bank Corp, 1 billion from a group of investors on Wednesday after seeing its stocks plunge more than 80% this year. What investor would sit there and say, oh, hey, you know what? You know, I saw what you guys have been doing over here, messing up, and your stock share price is down to like $1 or something. Look at here. Look at this. $1.86. $1.86. And we're going to give you $1 billion. Look at this nonsense. Check it out. New York Community Bank would get investments of $450 million from Mnuchin's Liberty Strategic Capital, $250 million from Hudson Bay Capital, $200 million from Reference Capital Partners. Cash from other institutional investors and some of the bank's management will take the total over $1 billion. For a losing company, you would not invest in this. Why are you investing in this, ladies and gentlemen, is the biggest question you might want to ask. You know why? Look at this. Mnuchin's Liberty Strategic Capital, Hudson Bay Capital, Reference Capital Partners. Some of you might have invested in these companies. They're using your money. Your assets under management is what they have. So they're using your money to bail this guy's out. See, it's not their money. That's the key right there, ladies and gentlemen. That's why it's always very interesting. They will spare no expense when it comes to their buddies. But when we say, hey, let's give some free lunches to the kids. Oh, hold on a second. What do you mean? What do you mean it's going to cost $100 million? And you're looking across the room, getting ready to slap somebody like, didn't you just give these guys $250 million and they lost 80% of their stock price? What are you talking about here? This is craziness to me. But again, this is so infuriating. This is why I started the channel Stop Struggling Now 5 years ago, ladies and gentlemen, because you guys don't understand. You have been fooled out here. Your tax dollars are helping perpetuate this nonsense, and you guys are getting screwed all over unless you buy assets, unless you start a business, unless you get into real estate. You have to do all of it because you can't be a one-trick pony anymore. All right. Don't let me start going off, ladies and gentlemen, but sometimes I have to because there's a lot of people who watch these channels and people do not understand how they are being used and abused. Look at this. Look at this. Let's get even deeper. Remember Signature Bank last year? Look at this little blurb. NYCB was a relatively unknown bank until last year when it bought the toxic assets of Signature Bank. Now, everybody on podcast, they didn't use the word toxic. But let me ask you something. The same reason these guys are throwing in 1 billion, why were they throwing in money into Signature Bank that had toxic assets? So is it really a surprise that all of a sudden they have a problem? Hell no, there's no problem, no surprise. All right. When it bought the assets of Signature Bank at auction, look at this. For March 19th last year, for 2.7 billion. They used 2.7 billion. Now all of a sudden these guys are getting 1 billion from all these other guys. Signature was one of the banks that crumbled in last year's mini crisis for the industry. See what's happening out here, ladies and gentlemen, while you're hard at work, living paycheck to paycheck and not getting your assets. You were at the mercy of these clowns. They are out here using your money. And then if something crumbles, your money goes bye-bye. Bye-bye. You could be left holding the bag. What do I mean? An empty bag. Because if these banks shut down, you have no money. This is why we've been talking about diversifying outside of the country. So if you have a bank account out there that's not controlled by the United States government, and by the way, there's only 6 countries that haven't signed up for it. All right, I'm just saying. And it just so happens DR is one of them that hasn't officially joined in, but sooner or later they will, because that's what the United States is great at, pressurizing you. Okay, you won't have any business with United States banks and banking industries and United States customers because they can't wire money to you. So therefore, you better play with us or we take our dolls and dishes and go home. All right, that's what the U.S. does around the world to everybody. They extort everybody. You guys got to understand this. I was born in France. French citizens right now who are married to American citizens. And if that American citizen has a problem with the United States Treasury, IRS, anything like that, they get to take money out of not only the American citizen's bank account, but because you're married to a French citizen, they can tap their account, even though you have separate accounts, because the French signed up with America, because they're friends. The torch and all. You know, friends. Don't let friends jack you. Just keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. So these guys spend 2.7 billion to get toxic assets that we all knew were toxic. We talked about it back then. I was like, why are they bailing out toxic asset company and trying to act like they're taking it? All that's going to happen is this right here. Is this really a shock? I don't think so. It's more disgusting because everybody can see this coming. So now they're going to take the assets. Now you're going to have these guys, Liberty Strategic Capital, Hudson Bay Capital, Reverence Capital Partners. They're going to take their toxic assets. Make it make sense. They should have been out of business. So then we can have a bigger, badder, stronger banking environment instead of trying to keep their friends in business. This is what 2008 and 2009 banking crisis was all about. They didn't let them fail when they should have. They went in giving horror stories. Oh, it's a meltdown. The whole society will just go down the tubes. And I'm like, no. Your punk asses who have all this strategic money and all the playbook for dancing around the system, y'all just wanted to save your asses. You didn't care about the American people losing all their homes. You didn't care about banks then running into people. It happened to me too. The bank called up and said, oh, we're going to do a short sale. What? Excuse me? What are you talking about? I don't want to do a short sale. Oh, we have the loan. We're calling it. I was like, are you serious right now? Banks do all kind of crazy, ladies and gentlemen. You guys have no idea. I have great ideas because a lot of crap with banks has happened to me over the years. Don't fool yourself out here. Just because it hasn't happened to you does not mean it can't in the future. You could find yourself at the back end of a bank saying we're forcing the sale, bank saying we're calling loans, bank doing whatever they want. We're selling your note to somebody else, and that somebody else says, oh, yeah, you used to pay 3.5%, but now you're going to pay 4.5. There's all kind of crazy that's happened, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying. And these guys, whenever they can grab assets instead of paper money that's worthless, they'll grab assets. All right, enough of the rant right now. Mo Better's in the house. Welcome to the Assassination Money Making Monday live. Sorry, not Money Making Monday. I was having flashbacks. It's Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with Mo Better in the house with that icon next to his name. And he says, what's up, Assassination? What's up, E? You know what time it is. It's Assassination Takeover Time 2024. That's what we're on here doing, ladies and gentlemen. We want you to take over. You have to understand all this tap dancing and singing and all this crap. Hey, it's good to soothe the soul sometime, but just keep this in mind. These distractions, the Super Bowl, the World Series, everything, the NBA playoffs coming up. All of this distraction is to make sure you're not paying attention as banks are failing around the country. And one day you're going to have a large sum of money sitting in your bank, your last few dollars potentially, and you're going to wake up and go, hey, where's my money? And they're going to say, oh, we just had to close for a few days. You're not going to have access for 24 to 48 hours or something. Next thing you know, you're like, what do you mean you went out of business? Yeah, we have to suspend everything right now. We're going to sell to another person. Meanwhile, you could be in a position such as myself one time. What do you mean? My mortgage is due. What are you talking about? What's happening here? Are you guys going to give me release of something so I can pay my mortgage? You guys see it comes out every month from this bank account. What's wrong with you? Oh, I'm sorry. We're having a little problem and a delay. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we've all, not all, some of us have been through crazy stuff with banks. That's why I don't even leave my money in banks if I can avoid it at all. They stay in the duffel bag, period. Do not trust these guys. Plus, you don't make any real money there anyhow. Think about it. All right, Mo, very, very nice to see you once again with that icon next to your name. Mo Better says, got the notification and smash that like button. I greatly appreciate it. And that also means share the videos, ladies and gentlemen. And if you haven't smashed that like button, please do so now, because oftentimes people watch and then forget about it. Sometimes you're on mobile. You can't really smash the like button, but it's all right. Please do it before the end of the video so the YouTube guys know that we have people who ain't messing around up in here. Joe Nay is here. Another investor is here. Welcome to the Assassination Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to your name. And Joe Nay brings his tagline this evening. What's good, SSN fam? You know it's always good when we actually got to break it down so people understand. If you know what's coming, then you know what you can do. When you don't know what's coming, then there's how you get blindsided. We don't want you blindsided, ladies and gentlemen. We want you to understand what the landscape is out here. You have to make decisions. And your decision, it should be clear. You need whatever monies you have. They're bullets. You need to make sure you're trying to use those to make more money. Even if it's a little risk sitting in the bank. And that bank goes bye-bye, and you're now trying to get in with the FDIC, and the FDIC goes, oh, hey, you had over $250,000 in here. I'm sorry. We can't get the rest for you. That is a worse situation that you can find yourself in, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Nay, I hope everybody is good. We do. And by the way, if you're here watching this now and can't get in the chat room, there's a reason. Because on Wednesday nights, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. So what does that tell you? Become a member today. That's what you should do. That would show some support as well. So Joe Nay says, I'm investing in reinvesting my dividends. There you go, Joe Nay. We all are reinvesting our dividends. And by the way, since we're talking about dividends, Victor Morrell says, I'm gonna go through this again. I think we're ending it right now. Yeah, it's at the end of this article. If you want to go check out this Bancorp article, just keep in mind, this is nothing but a relay drop off. Think about this. I'm going to say this again. Think about that. NYCB went out to Signature Bank to buy their assets, toxic assets. Now, the other three companies are bailing out the company that bought their toxic assets. Where's all that money going? That's billions. Now they got 1.5 billion over here. That's 3.7 billion plus whatever NYCB lost. That's billions of dollars gone, plus the stock value, billions gone. Who's going to pick up the pieces for that? You're looking at me. You're looking at you. Look at your neighbor. Look across the street. Look on the airplane next to you. Look at the hotel when you're down at the pool. Look at those people with you. You're all paying for this nonsense. So you better get your own. That's all I'm going to say, ladies and gentlemen. I'm giving you the warning now. I got the notification and just smashed that like button, says Joe Nay. And again, I'm going to put this link to this article so you guys can read it yourself. Don't be fooled by the niceties in the articles. Just keep in mind, this is a capitalist system, allegedly. They are supposed to go out of business to take their assets, and then they're supposed to be like, bye-bye, and the stronger bank is supposed to move in. And that is how capitalism's supposed to work. Ever since they have perverted capitalism. Why? Because the wealthy are able to pay your senators in the city, county, state, federal governments. Don't keep blinders on around here, all right? Because you're not only going to be hurt. If you think this is pain, I told you 5 years ago pain was coming. You have no idea the pain after they drop these interest rates. You are going to be like, if I'm not rich, I'm done. That's what you're going to be saying, because you're going to be out here. Look, just went over to a place in Sacramento, and you guys can look it up. It was Isley, EISLY, and I think, what was the name of the other one? I wish I can remember. But anyhow, these pseudo new apartments, they've been out about a year and a half. The studio was like $1,800. I was like, what is this? A one bedroom was like 2 G's. A 2 bedroom was like 2,300. I was like, let me get this straight. You have to make 3 times the money. So a person has to make over $70,000 a year to live in these apartments that I don't know the size of them. I should have paid attention, but let's just say they're regular size units. Meanwhile, you can go rent a house twice as big for the same amount of money. But the house twice as big cost more because now the landlords are saying you pay for water, sewer, and garbage. You pay for the HOA too. You pay for the yard service. So not only are you going to be paying lower, but now after you pay all that, you're right back up and surpass that amount. Sure, you have a bigger place, but you're going to pay more. So that's a no-win. You go down here and get a loan. The banks will love you because in case you're new here and you don't really know something, I dare you to go put in Google mortgage calculator, put in 5.5% interest, do a 30-year loan, and find out how much interest you paid. Let's just skip ahead. You paid damn near twice as much. So when your house 20, 30 years later went up twice as much and you're sitting at the party bragging about my house is worth double, it's because you paid double. Just saying. Just saying. All right? They have you out here fooled, ladies and gentlemen. They should have been teaching people in school to actually buy assets that pay you. But the reason why they don't want to teach you that is because you'd be competing with the big boys and you wouldn't be doing stupid things like buying cars and getting 8-year, 9-year notes and paying $735 as the average per month for car notes now. You wouldn't be out here buying a $500,000 or $600,000 house unless you had assets that were paying for it, so you didn't have to sweat. Who knew people would sign up for 40-year mortgages? Who knew people would sign up for 9, 10, 11, 12-year car notes? Who knew? Nobody. If you told somebody this stuff 30 years ago, 25 years ago, they'd have looked at you like, have you lost your mind? Who knew? I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, if you think things are crazy now, if you think shrinkflation is not real, all I can tell you is I've traveled around the world, and a lot of people have here in this SSN nation. I'm going to tell you one thing that's common in a third world country. The one thing that I know, if I'm going to the Philippines, if I'm going to Aruba, if I'm going to St. Martin, if I'm going any islands, I know one thing. When I get there and I see what I normally see packaging in the United States, I know when I get there, it's going to cost less, and the package is about 30% to 40% less in size. Because at that location, people can't afford what we pay. Dumb like. When you travel around the world and you understand prices that other countries are paying, and then you come back to America, it's like the Twilight Zone. You're sitting over there for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, just buying stuff, doing stuff, normal stuff. You come back to America, you buy the same thing, and you're looking like, wait a minute, I was just getting this, and it seemed like it was only like 25, 30 bucks. Now it's 45 bucks. You will notice the Twilight Zone. Trust me. Just leave for freaking 2 to 3 weeks and come back. Not just a week, 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then come back. It'll blow your mind. You'll be sitting there like, am I really spending this much money for this? Everybody else in the world is spending less. Good news. So that's why you need to get out the country. Get your passports, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to need it. And buy some property outside of the United States, or get a business outside the United States, just like the big boys. They all have corporations outside the United States called offshore corporations. Why? Because any money made in the rest of the world, they can hide. Don't have to pay taxes on. They could have billions of dollars sitting out there. The only time they're going to pay is when they send it over here inside America, and even then they get tax write-offs. So just keep that in mind. You don't have these advantages, but you can do it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we talk about. Jonay, they say this lifeline aims to stabilize NYCB and restore confidence. Okay, exactly. It's BS. This is so they can bail out their buddies. That's the only thing they care about, so they can go to their little country club up there in New York City. Come on, stop playing up in here. You guys are being fooled, and you're sitting there playing along with the game. You're wasting time. Time is not your friend here. You have to make moves. Now, you have to establish assets that pay you now. Buy another business that's profitable. That would be much better than starting a business where 9 out of 10 fail. Get a business that shows profit for 10 years. And you can easily see, okay, if I invest in this, I have money coming back. That is an asset. Startups, they're not really an asset. All right, let's get real. Right now, I have a startup in the DR, right? Simple. I'm about to do a debt scenario. That debt scenario means I have an IOU, but I'm not buying cars, boats, trains, planes, and all that stuff. I'm producing assets. Those assets go up in value, and I'm also producing derivatives. That's pieces of paper. Because when somebody signs a loan, a mortgage, anything, a promissory notes, and all this crap, that is a derivative. If you sign a piece of paper and you say, I am going to buy this, and I'm going to pay monthly payments, and it's going to cost me $500,000, to you, it may be $2,500 a month. You may have only put down $50,000. You may owe $450 and have not paid it yet, but that piece of paper to the mortgage, to the bank, whoever's holding that piece of paper, there's a value, and that value is $500,000. This is where you're not understanding. Lots of you guys already understand this. This is why banks win, because they don't take any risk. Loan companies, they don't take real risk, because once I get 10, 15, 20 homes and I get to walk over there, 20 homes, $500,000, $10 million, and I wave it around, $10 million worth of loans. How much will you give me? Somebody raises their hand. I'll give you $4 million. Why would they do that? Because the party that waved it around gets $4 million liquid instead of having to wait for years of $4 million worth of payments. The second party says, if it's $10 million, we know if people pay this over the term of 30 years, that's $20 million to us. And then some in today's interest rate environment. So that's a win-win. And not only that, they can sell it later down the line, because now they will tell somebody, hey, you know, all these units that we own, the units, the paper shows it's worth 20 million, but there's another factor. The value of the properties went up $200,000 each. So now all of a sudden, they are against you, because they know if somebody defaults, they're thinking in their head, wait a minute, if somebody defaults, now we get 700, 750, a new loan. And now instead of $1 million, we get 1.5 million, plus we collected 200 to 300,000. And we get to waive our paper, and we get to say now it's worth 30 million. Who will give me 10 or 15? You see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? How many times can we keep doing this derivative thing? As many times as the value of the assets increase in value. That is what banks are holding out here. See, you guys don't understand. Wall Street, banks, the financiers of the world, they're buying this paper. All over the world, they're buying paper from all over the world. So sooner or later, banks are going to implode, just like 2008, 2009. They've just been helped out, like this $1 billion. Back in 2007 and 8, the $1 billion wouldn't have came. That's the difference. They had to actually have a meeting and say, hey, man, we're having a meltdown and we got to do all this and that. Now they just do it in the open. That's all. That's the only difference. So think about it, ladies and gentlemen. You better think about this. Don't be out here playing with yourself any longer. Things are about to hit the fan. All right. We have 35 trillion deficit that's actually accounted for. The derivatives are not accounted for. Just keep that in mind. All right. And who's going to pay for it? You, us, the OCs. Absolutely correct. A bottle of water in Madrid cost me $1.25 2 months ago. And as soon as I landed at JFK, that same bottle was $4.50. You would ask, how stupid can we be? Disgusting. Exactly, Victor Marrero. That's all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen. This is why they don't want you leaving the country. Because once you leave the country, you're like, what the hell is going on around here? Like when you leave the country and we have our phones. Now our phones are reasonable. All right. But for the longest, American citizens were paying phone bills that were outrageous. Around the world, they're giving people SIM cards. You could put a SIM card in your phone and call internationally, call all over, have Wi-Fi on your phone for like $25 for a week or longer. It was insanity. I was just like, is this for real? International phone calls that you and I right now, if we try to call international, if you don't call up your cell phone company and say, hey, I'm going to be in X amount of country or I'm going to call, they're going to charge you a higher rate than if you don't get on their plan. You have to be on their plan to get the lower rate. And you can only text so many times. You can only call so many minutes. Otherwise, they're charging you per minute rates. That's ridiculous. Think about this. I can show up in another country and pay $50 and have Wi-Fi, long distance to call around the world for hours. Hours. And it ain't even going to cost no more than 25 bucks. This is what we're talking about here, ladies and gentlemen. This is crazy. Crazy stuff happening out here. Brian P., welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night live stream with that icon next to his name, which I greatly appreciate. And he says his tagline, hello, Eric. I hope all is well with you. Yes, it is. Hello, SSN family. That's right. And oh, by the way, while I'm thinking about it, a new WhatsApp group is being formed as we speak. WhatsApp. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard me. You are invited. I think I just now tried this. I'm not sure, but you will notice a logo there that is coming. Actually, that's the new logo. I just haven't released it yet. That's right. We're upgrading. This is part of the new logo. It's SSN Nation Lifestyle is what this is, but that's not actually going to have the lifestyle part. The SSN Nation Lifestyle channel, ssnlifestyle.com. That is going to have this logo that you're going to see on the WhatsApp. And then on Stop Struggling Now channel, just have the SSN Nation without the lifestyle. But you're going to see some new things over the next probably week. I'm going to change the channel art that we have because a lot of people think we're selling classes. No, this is the Guru Zone. No credit checks, no qualifyings, no barrier to entry. You're at the right place. You're also at the right place that this is the No Guru Zone. We don't charge for courses. We do charge for memberships, but members get a perk on Wednesday night. Only members with the icon can be in the chat room. But on Monday and Friday night and any other live stream, it's open to everybody to ask questions. You don't have to sit in the dark. You don't have to sit there and think, oh my God, I don't want to ask a question. No, this is the place you need to ask questions. We have the real people here, investors, business owners, entrepreneurs. This is in the house for you. You might as well take advantage. We have people with years of experience, years of knowledge. And I'm not talking about 5 years or 10 years. We're talking 20, 30, 40 years of experience and knowledge that they are helping you, ladies and gentlemen. We're not asking for no money. That's the difference. Why? Because we make money. All right, let's get real. All right, that's your first sign right there when somebody says, hey, look, I have the Lambo. Hey, look, I live in this big ass house. Hey, look, I live here. But oh, by the way, I got a course down below to sell. What the heck? What do you mean? Of course you have a course down below to sell. Stop it. Smash that like button. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot of people in the house tonight. And once again, it's restricted on Wednesday night. Everybody can watch, but on Wednesday night, once again, only members with the icon can be in the chat room. I put in the WhatsApp link. It's called the SSN Nation and Lifestyle WhatsApp. You'll see the logo there. It's something you've never seen before. It has a bright yellow, like a little yellow bar, and it says SSN. Then it has a yellow nation at the bottom. It's cool. And Oscar created the logo for me. All right. It's pretty cool, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. So here's the links right here. There you go. Check it out. Go join now. That's the invite link. So I'm hoping you can get in because this is the first time I created a group. And the reason why I created this group is so you can ask questions. Because why? Let's just get to it. But hold on. I got some other things to talk about before we do that, because this is why I'm going to do this tonight. I got to tell you guys, it T-minus 48 hours before the takeover commences. But actually, the takeover has kind of already started because I did not keep hearing from the guys. I said, you know what? I'm just going to take over anyhow. It'll have to be just a little bit slower. So we're going to talk about that here shortly. We are making money in here is right, Brian P. And as G says, George's Charles says, he smells money in here. That's what we do. We smell money. Brian P, payday for my QQQY tonight. Okay, well, let us know what it was, Brian P. I want to know what it was. All right, that's it. Brian P, one of the investors, E. White, another superstar investor, is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday Night live stream with that icon next to his name. And He brings his tagline, "Good evening, Eric." And SSN family, never depend on single income. Very well said. With a bullet. Make investments to create a second source. Very well said. With a bullet. This is the only way you're going to be able to survive, ladies and gentlemen, and stick with it. You don't have to be like the Joneses or the Smiths or the Jacksons. You don't have to be like them. All right. Just because they're over there buying up liabilities and looking good, puffing the chest out. I got the new barbecue in the back. I got the new, hey, man, come over. I got the new putting green over here. What the hell, man? Seriously? All I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, do not do the Joneses. You need to do you. And I'm going to tell you something. I haven't talked about this in a while. I used to have my motivational Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm going to tell you something right now. That car you drive, the clothes you wear, the jewelry you have, the shoes you have, and whatever else you think is cool, nobody knows you. And they may see you and you may feel good because somebody says, oh, you look good, you smell good and all that stuff. But guess what? After you turn the corner, they don't know you. They don't care about you. Meanwhile, you have liabilities and you have credit cards that you have almost maxed to the hilt. Don't act crazy out here. We know all-time record high for credit card debt in America. Not all of you are messing up like this, but there's a large percentage of the population who's messing up because 65% of the population is living paycheck to paycheck. It's not your fault, but it kind of is. You don't get off the hook because you're going to say, hey, my employer, they won't give me a raise of 3 or 5 or 10 or 20%. They won't give me a cost of living raise. Of course not. You live in a capitalist society. What do I look like if I'm running a business and I'm going to sit there and say, well, my business makes $20 million a year, but you know what? My profits were only $5 million. So I'm going to give my employees a raise of 10 to 20% so they can make sure they stay up with the cost of inflation. Meanwhile, my employee cost or expenses is $2 million a year. Does that, you really think I'm going to sign up for me to take less, another 400 to 500K less? Because remember, I, as a business owner, am paying 50% of the FICA as well. So you really think I'm going to sit there and sabotage my own profits so you can live better? Are you serious right now? That is a conflict of interest. And don't let me be on the stock market because we really have a conflict of interest because my shareholders are going to be like, hey, man, are you crazy right now? You offed about $700, $800, $1 million of profit because you want to be Mr. Nice Guy? We're going to fire your ass. You see what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen? You got to start thinking about the overall game out here. You are being used and abused. And if you want to be happy, that's fine. Some of you would say, hey, I don't really care. But I'm telling you right now, you don't get to sit still. You don't get to just go, hey, man, I make enough money right now. Everything's going to be fine. That's what people who retired in Florida is thinking to themselves right now. I came down here 20 years ago. Everything was good. My pension is like 5 G's a month. But right now they're sitting there like, wait, hold on. I'm paying like $4,000 because I have this house note. I have property taxes that just went up. The insurance just went up. What the hell's going on? I was comfortable 3 years ago. Now I have to worry about thinking about getting a second job. Do you think it's just Florida? I got news for you. It is not. It's like a fungus that's going to roll through America. It's coming for you. All right, enough with the motivational. This is why we talk, and now this is why I have the WhatsApp link. So that's a group that we can have discussions, and that's also when I say we are promoting some projects right now. Guess what? Everybody can go to that WhatsApp group because that's where we're going to be talking about it. When I do live streams or whenever I do any promotional things for any projects, then you can go there and ask questions. That you'll find me there. All right. It's that simple now. I'm not sending you to these other guys. All the rest of these guys, they were eating for 5 years. 5. Well, actually, I'm exaggerating. 4 years. All right, 4 years. Yeah, it's cool when I show up. Yeah, it's all right when I show up. But unfortunately, I have a problem. The guys in the DR have let me down. What do I mean by the guys? The guys that are doing the developments of these projects, they let me down as far as I'm concerned. I'm promoting. I'm loving life, telling people come over there. And the next thing I know, it's 4 years later. And I'm like, hey, wait, the wave ain't done. Panorama Garden's not done. Panorama Lake's not done. Panorama Luxury's not done. Panorama, nothing's done. I'm like, what the hell's going on around here? Sabana's not done. Arco's not even started. What the? REA's not done in downtown. The beach ain't even halfway done. All these things we talked about. What the hell is going on? But yet they collected SSN Nation members' money. And then they're going, oh, it'll be another year after we told you 2 years ago delivery. It'll be another year. What the? I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I kind of take offense to this. And these clowns out here who took more advantage, I didn't care, but now I care. I didn't care that I was making videos and you guys ran commercials on my videos so you guys wouldn't have to pay realtors their commission. I know what y'all were doing. I get it. You were eating off of whatever. That's fine. I shut it all down now. And now the big dog's coming. I would hide the women and children, not because I'm going to do anything to them, but they don't want to know how bad and funky working you've been doing to people. It's over. Because when I come, contracts are different. We're going to have the preeminent contract, the best ones ever for the customer, so they ain't going to get screwed. Because if we're late, then that means we get paid late. We're not going to make people pay 60, 70, 80% up front and then build it 5 years later, 3 years later, and go, oh, my bad. Sorry, sue us. For real out here like this? Y'all slacking. But we're about to make a dent in your slack. I'm about to take over T-minus 48. And you guys better believe, ladies and gentlemen, they don't want it, but I want the smoke. I'm being there. Oh, by the way, Mo Better's here. Are you going to be in the DR? Because I might be there. I was supposed to be there months ago, but because of the delay on the funding, it's okay. I'll be there in the next 14 days probably because we got fish to fry. A lot of them. All right, here we go. Brian P. Hey, Eric, I sent you my t-shirt size. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. I appreciate that via email. Great, great, great. All right, here we go. QQQ, 80 cents per share. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we talk about. This is why you should have your pen, pad, and paper handy. You just never know what's going to happen. QQQY gives 80 cents per share. Imagine you have 1,000 shares. That's $800. This month. What happens next month? Another $800 or $600? Now, the question is, how much is the QQQY? I think it's about 220. No. I think it's 18. Isn't it like $18 or something? Let me go look it up. Here, we'll just go look it up. Let's go see. QQQY. Let's see what we got here. Okay, why is that happening? QQQY stock, $16. I was right. I was close, $17. We were almost on the money. I thought it was 20, but then it said 17. I remember it was about that. So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. We got a problem. I've been talking too much smack. We got a problem. We got a problem. I've been talking too much smack out here. We have some... I knew it was going to happen. This is comedy. It's pure comedy. $16.43. Oh, my. Pure comedy. Negative 18 over 16 months or over 6 months, though, the offset. So once again, it is what it is. All right, let's go. We make those investments. Why? As James Way so eloquently says, the rent is too damn high. You got that right. That's exactly right, Joe Nay. And that's why we have to make investments, ladies and gentlemen. We have to do it. All right, Brian. QQQY is another beauty. It now pays 80 cents per share and pays first week of each month. If you miss Monday, the Money Making Monday live stream, Victor Morero actually put in IWMY, QQQY. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He listed 4 stocks that actually pay the first week of every month. Dividends, free money while you sleep. That's why it's dangerous to be here, ladies and gentlemen, because you're not paying these gurus when you could be earning 80 cents a share, when you could be earning dividend money every month like the big boys. Their dirty little secret that you're giving your money to a 401k. Okay, that's nice. It's a tax write-off. Or you could be putting money in your own 401k, IRA, Roth, IRA, and getting a tax deduction and putting in whatever you want to put in your IRA. Just saying. Here we are. I am building my portfolio to be paid every week. QQQY is my next target to build to at least 500 shares. See, that would have been $400 just this month, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the stock has lost like almost 18.9% of its value. But the point is, the money that already has been put in, he would have had $400 this month. And if they give 80 cents again, that's $400 again. Now, here's the question. If you bought 500 shares times $17, in fact, I'm going to do this right now. This is what we do, ladies and gentlemen. You got to use your brain sometime. 500 times 17 is $8,500. Let me just redo this. 500 times 17, $8,500. If you bought 500 shares. Now, the question is this. Let's say you bought that many shares, 500 shares, and let's say it's 80 cents times 12. That'd be about $9.60, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do $8. All right. So if you divide $8 divided by the price of $17, that is 47% return. All right. That also means I can reinvest, like Joe Nace says, every month. So now you have to start going, well, what if it is 80 cents every month? So then we go 400 divided by 17. Let's just say it hovers around there. That's 23 more shares, which means another $16 on top potentially every month. So now you could be at 416, 432, 448, 464. You getting it yet, ladies and gentlemen? Next thing you know, you're getting 500, 550. You see where we're going with this? That's what we do, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for mentioning it. Appreciate it. Curtis Davis, QQQ stock or VOO? Well, it's either one. Here's the thing. They've reached all-time record highs. What more can you do? There's only one way to go here is down. I mean, the Magnificent Seven and the rest, the NVIDIA thing is kind of messing it up. SCMI is now on the stock exchange as well, so that props it up even more. They removed some of the weak ones, so of course it's manipulated, but that just means these guys are in it. Total Market, VOO, that's Vanguard Group. We recommend Vanguard Group, SSN Nation approved. All right, Curtis Davis is here once again. Welcome to the SSN Nation Wealthy Wednesday night live stream with that icon next to his name. And he brings his tagline and that icon I love. Good evening, SSN family, ABMM. You guys don't know what that is? Always be making money. That's what we preach here. If you can get it, why not? I know it's not sexy. I know people can't see it. And I know you don't walk around going, here's my portfolio. You shouldn't. And who cares? The point of the matter is, you know that you're putting your money silently away. You're the silent assassin. You're the one that if stuff hits the fan, you're going to be like, hey, are they still paying dividends over here? Great. If they're not, then hopefully you have withdrawn some of your profit and put it in your duffel bag of cash, or diversified it into another asset class. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. The wealthy just don't invest in one thing. That's why they have Shark Tank, Dragon's Den in the UK for everybody. All right? Just think about it. ABMM, always be making money. And if that doesn't help you, you know you can get updates from Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial's YouTube channel. It's called Chilly Davis, CHILLY. Why do we do it? It's chilly out here when you don't have assets, ladies and gentlemen, and you're out here bare naked. You need assets to keep the fire burning while you're sleeping. All right, let's go. Victor Morrell says it. Brian, are you working on your NVIDIA bag? That one is paying. Oh, my goodness. Oh, I haven't even seen. Oh, I'm getting $2.62 per share. No way, man. No way. Oh, that's right. They do options trading. And of course, NVIDIA was on the hot options chart, whether the stock was going up, took a dip, went back up. People are selling and exchanging the options. So I do expect that. Congratulations, everybody that has NVDY. As you guys know, I told you I to partake about a week ago. So we're in. We get our dividend this month of $2. And oh my, that is hot right there. Unbelievable. Just 500 shares will put you way over 1K per month. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we're talking about. This is what we're doing up in here. This is easy way to do it. And of course, whenever you invest in anything, the stock market, if you want free shares from Robinhood and Webull and you don't have the app yet, please use the links down below. Just keep that in mind. All right. Whew, 500 shares would have been, oh my, that's almost 1,500. It would have been like 2.6. That's like $1,300. Wow. Wow. That is amazing. That is amazing. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. This might make you sick. This might make you real sick when you see this. This makes the power that be sick because they have to start talking bad about this stock. This is 2888. 500 shares is going to cost you over 10,000, but nonetheless, let's go look. 500 times 20. I'll raise it up. 29. 14.5. So 14.5 is the number, and 2.9 times 10. I won't, because that'll average down. $29. Is that 10%? No, that's, yeah, it's, or is this, wait, is that 100%? What the hell? That's a crazy number, right? Right? 29 divided by 29 is 1. That'd be like 100%. Or is that 10%? That's weird. No, that's 100%. Man, my math must be off, but damn, that's crazy. That's crazy how that anomaly happened. Yes, I'm working on it. Brian P., he's trying to be dividend king right now. He's loving this money coming in every month. He already has like 5,000 plus shares of TSLY. Good God almighty. Curtis, recommend both QQQ and VOO. However, I'll replace VOO with SPY. It has more options volume, so it's easy to fill. The stock basket is about the same as SPY. Very well said. Victor Morrell has done the homework for you, ladies and gentlemen. That is beautiful. Next, E. White. TSLY looks like it's at 81 cents per share for dividends. Now, this is incredible because, again, the dividend king, Brian P., has over 5,000 shares. That means he's getting a $4,000 check this month. Last month, I think we were at 63 or 58. I can't remember. But let's just go 60. Last month, he got a $3,000 check plus, I think. This month, it's 4,000 plus dividend coming in. So between the last 2 months, he's at about 7 grand. But he bought 5,000 plus shares. And some of those shares were reinvestment shares. So that makes it pretty cool as well. And we were around $9, $10 cost average for some of those. So keep that in mind, which makes it even better. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we try to get you in position to win. That's what we do around here. Hopefully you're learning something and writing some of this down and doing your own homework, because this is one way to go, because the banking crisis is here. What if your money disappears and gone? Poof. I know there's a lot of you. And let me put it to you another way. What if the money in your brokerage account went poof? Those are harder to go poof, because those are the ones that have the big boys pay attention to. Bank accounts, they've been raided forever. We don't really care if somebody's missing their money or their money was stolen by the banking entity. That's a thing that always happens, but they do care about what happens to brokerage accounts. All right. Those assets under management are different. Just keep that in mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you smash that like button. Once again, I want to announce, it looks like T minus 48. We're going to be official. T minus now. I just now found out that for our SSN Nation Punta Cana Music Festival, our men of Club Nouveau, they are going to South Africa for the dates that we have our event. Right after their cruise, they're leaving, going down there for, I don't know, I think it's 3 days of music festival there. So I saw the Jay yesterday, and I said, hey, man. He goes, well, I said, you know what I'm going to do? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 2 weekends up there. He's like, what? Just for us? I said, man, you in the top 20, top 30. Why not? 2 weeks up there. The 9th through the 12th is going to be one musical weekend. And then the 16th through the 19th is a second musical weekend. And in between and during, sponsored by SSN Lifestyle. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's going down like that. And if you're going to be in the DR in about a month, there's going to be a talent show at the beach. I'll give you all the news about it, because some bands, they are going to be in on the music festival as well. But we got to find some badass groups. So stay tuned. 365 Punta Cana is probably going to be hosting the event. I have not finalized it yet. It is just talk stage, because once again, we're going to do things a different way. We bring in the cameras. We're bringing the lights. We're bringing it so you guys always know I have to have some sort of things in writing. So then that way, if I ever want to produce it and put it out, the executive producer, and we have cash coming in, derivative money, passive income money. So it's going to be recorded. That's what's going to go down. It's like Punta Cana Music Festival. You got talent, then you need to come down. So then we can get you in our little event. March 9th through the 12th. Sean Rayford and Experience is going to be in the house. We're going to have Lucky Witherspoon as well. Going to be in the house. Damian Hudson, we haven't came to a finalization agreement, but I hope we will. So he should be in the house as well. Just for starters, plus the DJs, plus the Dominican bands as well, going to be throwing down. It's going to be nothing but love. We're going to have a little bit of jazz, a little bit of R&B, a little bit of that Latin flavor, and a little bit of, of course, a little hip hop, but more or less the clean version, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we're talking about. Why? SSN Lifestyle sponsoring means we are talking about real estate investing and no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. Plus our SSN Lifestyle right to use membership club is going to be in effect. By the way, speaking of effect, okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to give you guys some juicy, juicy stuff. Brian P., I did see the emails today. That's what we were talking about, the banking crisis earlier. We were talking about NYCB earlier. That's disgusting. They're getting bailed out. And I started going off about it because it's disgusting. They're saving the wealthy once again. All right. AMD is the other beauty, paying $1.67 per share every month and only costs $23 per share. I am telling you, this is like crack. You get hooked pretty quickly. Jesus Christ, $1.67 this month. I don't even have AMDY. This is crazy. I got Coney, NVDY, and TSLY, and I'm missing one, but I don't have AMDY. How awesome is that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, here's what's going down. I was going to sell this villa, but it's not going to happen. The villa is going to be, well, it's scheduled to be 230 square meters inside Vista Cana. It was going to be for sale. I was going to do something special, but you know what? It's takeover, so I can't now. I'm taking over. So here's what I'm going to be doing, just so you guys have a preview, because this is going to be finalized pretty quickly, because this has nothing to do with the other scenario. This is my own little other side deals that I was working on and could have already implemented, but I decided to wait. But the bottom line of the story is inside Vista Cana is a villa, presently scheduled to be 230 square meters. Now, 230 square meters, I think that's around 2,500 square feet, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what it was. I think it's 2,497, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see. Yeah, 2,475 square feet. All right. Now, here's the thing. It's okay. 4 bedrooms. Each bedroom has its own bathroom. So that makes it 4 bedrooms, 4 baths. Then there's a service quarters, which has its own bathroom. All right. So that makes it 5 bathrooms, 5 bedrooms, and a half bath in the living room area. That's for starters in that little bitty space. To me, it's a little bitty space. When you have 5 bedrooms, 2,500 square feet seems kind of small, but is it? I don't know. I've never lived in a 2,500 square foot house that had 5 bedrooms and 5.5 bathrooms. That seems like areas might be small, like the dining room, living room, kitchen area might not be that big because bedrooms have to be a certain size, or it's the other way around. Bedrooms are smaller to accommodate the space. So what does this mean? This means we do what real estate guys do. I say bump it up. We need 3,000 square feet. That's 600 square feet bigger. We need 3,000 square feet. We need the pool in the backyard. We need about 300 square feet of deck space out back. That's not that big for the house. We need that. We need that. Yeah, it's going to cost a little bit more, but it's not going to be for sale. Why? Because inside Vista Cana, that house would probably sell for $600,000, because that's only 2,000 a square foot. So yeah, it's going to be like 2,500. It's going to be like 700,000 if you had to buy it on the open market. It's 2 levels. So we're going to be at 3,000 square feet, and you can already do the numbers. 2,000. We're already past 2,000 per square meter in a cost factor for a villa. So what am I going to do? I'm not going to sell it for 600. I'm not going to sell it for 3, 5, whatever it's going to be. But here's what I am going to do. I am implementing SSN lifestyle. What does that mean? Remember, I told you guys about the right to use club, which has some of you, it's timeshare-esque, and it is timeshare like it's like. All I'm going to say is because I know what to make. That's the difference. So it's going to be a right to use, just so you guys understand this playbook right here, right to use. And then it's going to be for, if it's not 20, it's going to be 30, but it doesn't really matter. That's yet to be determined. The reason why it's yet to be determined is because it's going to be a pretty penny. It's going to be like $30,000 for 7 nights every year for 20 or 30. I haven't written the number yet, but it's probably 20. It's probably going to be 30. But the reason I'm saying that is because you might say, I want to stay more than 1 week. So what's going to happen? That allows you to say, okay, I'm going to pay this year's HOA, maintenance fee, let's call it. And I want to stay a second week. Okay, we'll take the last week out. So now you have dropped down to 29 instead of 30-year use. But yes, you can use the second week this year, so you can stay 2 weeks. So that gives you room to roam. And there's only going to be 20. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. And there's only going to be like, there's going to be 15 that's going to cost 1. There's going to be 5 where people can use special holiday weeks like Christmas, New Year's, President's Week. There'll be blackout dates such as those. I mean, there's only going to be like 3 or 4. But you're going to have to pay more because those blackout weeks are prime time and they're only going to cost more because that's the way life is. So that's what we're going to be doing, ladies and gentlemen. And we are starting the SSN Lifestyle Club in about 7 days officially. The tickets will be up for sale. You guys, right now, ssnlifestyle.com is being worked on. It's being implemented. Things are being put in place. So therefore, tickets, I was trying to get up by last night or tonight, but I'm kind of liking what I see so far. So tickets by Friday should be going up for May 9th through the 12th and also the second week. So you have a choice. You can stay for 8-9 days, come and hang out, or you can pick one of the musical weekends if you like music, but we're talking real estate on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the whole time, because we're probably going to implement the boost. We're going to be sponsoring it. So therefore, people can find out about no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry, the best contracts on the island, because takeover's coming. It won't be just Noval, and it won't be just Larimar, who has these contracts that says no price increase. It's also going to be SSN Lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen. No price increase for anything we build either. That's right, just for starters. And like I said, the second thing, the most important thing, delivery date. First of all, we're not going to hang you out to dry. We're not going to collect a full 70, 80% of your money or 60% of your money. And then after we collected, after we told you we were going to deliver in 2.5 years, in 2.5 years, you put down your 60, 70, 80%. And then we go, oh, due to whatever we make up, it's not going to be done for another 2 years. No. We're not going to do that party. What we're going to do is we have standards. If you don't have certain situations handled by a certain time frame, that means us, the builders, developers, then we're coming to you. Hey, guys, we're sorry. We're going to be late. And our anticipated date, just like what happened with the wave. Oh, we're going to be like 1.5 years, 2 years later. Well, guess what? We're extending your contract 24 years, 24 months later, or we'll just give you a refund if you can't hang. We ain't going to sit here and make you beg and sit here and go, hey, man, I want my money back, and then sit there and go, oh, sue me. No, you want your money back? The property value is going up. You can have it back because now we're going to sell it to somebody else at a higher price. Let's get real out here. So either way, we're going to win. You're going to win. Either we deliver on time or you get to lower your payments. It's that simple. Well before you're going to be finished, because just like right now, I know Larimar will not be finished in 1.5 years. September 2025, first phase ain't going to happen. So right now, they could come to people and say, hey, guys, we'll say it's going to be done another 7-8 months later. And if you don't like that, we'll give you a refund. They could do that. Right? But they won't. But they could. So that would make me feel better if they said, hey, man, we're adding on an extra 12 months. So your payment drops significantly. That would be cool. Maybe then I'd be like, all right, man, we're good. I can live with that. Because I know when September 2025 comes and we've given our 22.5 years worth of payments and we're sitting there like, Hey, man, this ain't going to be done for like another year and a half. What the hell? You're not going to be too happy at that point. You're going to be salty. But remember, everybody who gives their money, they always give people grace, right? Just like think of the beach, right? They're giving the guys grace. They're all the owners who have put money in, they're sitting there. Okay. Now people are getting a little more pissed than they did a year ago, because now they realize that year from now thing that they were telling people is not, it's 2 years at the best case scenario. And they've already been waiting 3 or 4 years. So these people are realizing, damn, we're not going to get our place done until 2027, possibly. It's getting crazy out here, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm here for it. I'm coming. I'm hunting, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a beautiful thing. All right. So let's see if we can get all our stuff implemented, because once again, the people are going to be shocked. You guys are going to be shocking the world if everything goes down. You guys are going to be like, but the first thing is inside Vistacana, it's going to be probably, I'm trying to push this to a 3,000 square foot villa. It's going to be a SSN Lifestyle Club, and it's going to be a right to use. And like I said, as we're discussing it, I haven't written it out, but it'll probably be a 30-year right to use. So that allows you to do more than 1 week. We'll move it back. That's the best scenario, right? Or you can just use it once a week. I mean, 1 week a year, but there's only going to be 20 weeks. So that gives plenty of room for everybody to stay during prime time, any time of the year, right? Because that's only 20 weeks. That gets you from, even if every week was booked up, that'd be January is 4 weeks, right? So that'd be 5 months up until May. And so everybody can get a week. Now, some people will say, I'll exercise my second week. Fine. But that's on you. That's on everybody else. Everybody can reserve except for those 5 holiday weeks. Only 5 people can reserve those. So those 5 people, if they take the holiday weeks, then the other weeks are still going to be available. So that means we're less weeks. 15 of the top weeks will be taken. So everybody can do prime time. And yes, you can rent it out and make whatever, because I'm thinking it's going to be $500 per night or $600 per night to stay there. Because you guys know what we're doing, right? You know we're going to have a closet for you, right? So you'll have, say, surfboards, kayaks, windsurfing. We know bicycles and things like that you want to put in. You don't want to get a shed out back. Come on now. We know you want to do that. You want to have some sort of storage area. So when you're there, you have something that you can go do. If you want to use it, rent it, do whatever, there's something there for you. It's what we do, right? Of course, it's what we do. It's going to be in the closet. How about it? Come on vacation and there's a kayak sitting around, a golf cart sitting around, windsurfing sitting around, paddleboard sitting around. All of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute, this is kind of cool. All we had to do was show up with our clothes, and now we can go out here and drive around inside Vistacana like this. This is cool. We don't have to go rent anything. Hey, man, check. You want to be part of the club? Well, here's the link once again. Make sure you sign up with WhatsApp, everybody. It's in the chat room. I think this is the invite link. Make sure you sign up, because we'll start talking about it over there, and anything else that we promote will be in that group. And this is where I'm going to be sending everybody, instead of sending out to some of these there won't be. There might only be one other realtor. I'm going to send something that's going to be on the channel. Actually, a couple, Mr. Estacio, and we're going to have some other guys on as well that I am entering into agreements with a hefty fee. All right. So no more playtime. We're entering into hefty fee territories and proper commission structures. That's the only way it goes. And here's the other thing. T-minus 48. Once I get the company formulated properly in the DR, even though SSN Lifestyle SRL is formulated properly, I need to have a holding company. I need to have SSN Lifestyle Financial, because this right here is going to be a lesson, everybody, that I told you guys about before, about having holding companies below separated. So we're going to have our own in-house SSN Lifestyle Financial. So you know what that means? We're doing the paper. Remember those derivatives? Notice the big smile on my face. Derivatives. I love derivatives. So now when you sign a contract, let's just say, like I'll tell you right now, here's what it's going to be. SSN Nation members is going to be $30,000 for a week. That's what it's going to be. In fact, what I haven't determined yet if I'm going to give SSN Nation members a discount for early in, early out, but I probably will do that. I will give a discount, but for everybody else, once they come on the open market, it might be $40,000 with negotiations. But SSN Nation, few members, whoever wants to get on a weekly right to use, and it's going to be a villa. It won't be finished. It'll be finished 14 months from now. All right. But you're just going to make payments. That's fine. And we are going to be carrying the paper. So everybody qualifies. Because I like derivatives. You guys can start doing the math. 20 times, let's just say 30,000 on average is 600,000. So on paper, it's worth 600,000. And then what it's really worth? Well, it's going to be worth more than that because the paper says 600,000, but the other months that nobody reserves, quite candidly, we're going to do rentals. The rentals go in-house. So therefore, there's more income coming in. And you will have annual maintenance fees. And yes, it's not going to be $200, $300, $400, right? Let's just get real. Things are pricey these days. It'll probably be in the upper eights, 800 a year. But I don't think you're going to be upset because we will be charging 400. I'm anticipating 350 to 450 a night minimum, because what we're building is going to be 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, pool in the back, things that you can play with while you're there, because we have man-made beaches, we have fitness centers. So therefore, we should have some water sports, wakeboards, things like that available. We should have bicycles available. We should have a golf cart available, parked in the spot, 2-car parking. So this ought to be beautiful. So it ain't going to be no cheap situation, and we're not building some cheap stuff like a cheap project. These are going to be, oh man, wait till I tell you about, I'm not even going to tell you. The finishing company is well known who's going to do the interior. Let's just put it that way. All right. In fact, we're going to be partners. So therefore, the interior of the place is going to look hot. All right. Going to have the lighting, going to have the rooms. We're going to have a loft upstairs. We're going to have a master bedroom in the back section that overlooks the pool area. Going to have a patio, balcony areas. I'm trying to put on a couple of the rooms, not all of them. And each room has its own ensuite, meaning its own bathroom. Each bedroom has its own bathroom. All right. All bedrooms have bathrooms. How cool is that? All right. And right now I'm thinking about, I'm not a big fan in Caribbean of having central heat and air. The reason I'm not a big fan of that is because electricity is very, very expensive. And by having central heat and air on means it has to blow through the whole house versus just being in the zone that you're in. So we're going to see how this all works out in the end, but I'm thinking we're going to have separate zones, because sometimes you might not be there with other people. You might only be there with 2 or 3 people. So why are you going to have AC in all the other rooms when you're not even using them? Just saying. All right. So why have generally, and the bill's going to be expensive if you do that. So we're going to check that out. We'll check out the solar scenarios as well to cut back on some of the price, but just giving you guys an idea of what's going down. Now, if you guys have any other questions, please ask them now, because join us on Friday night at 9-10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That would be greatly appreciated. All right. We're almost about to wrap this up. Let me go look at some of in case I received some more emails from Brian P. T-shirt size. There we go. I like it. That'll work. Let's see, what else did I get? Down below, if you want to start your business, a reminder, there's Opus Virtual Office. What does that do for you? That gives you a business phone number, a business fax number. By having a virtual office, you receive mail in your company name. They answer the phone in your company name. No additional charge. It's $99 per month. The other factor is they report to your business credit profile, which is a great thing for you from a business standpoint. So those are some of the highlights. The link is down below. Go check it out. But don't forget the promo code YG1. Y is in you, G is in George, the number 1, YG1. Make sure you use that code when you do buy. Opus Virtual Office. There's also an office space in there. So if you ever needed a business meeting, you can rent the boardroom. You can rent an office space per hour. So that helps greatly. And more impressive is somebody answering your phone. It's $99 per month. It's a tax write-off. So don't let that bother you. And that gives you a separate address other than your residential address. In case of ever a lawsuit, it will not be construed as that's your home address and you're commingling. All right. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully that helps you greatly. Now, let's see what else can we get into. We're about to wrap this up. It's almost the witching hour. It's almost the time, ladies and gentlemen. The SSN Nation takeover is happening. It's going down. And the first one's going to be inside Vistacana. In fact, let me show you guys something. I'm going to give you guys a little preview tonight. All right. So this floor plan is going to be improved upon because I got to put my touch on it because it's not SSN Nation approved. All right, let me see if I can pull it up here real quick. It's not SSN Nation approved. So let's see here. Okay. Here we go. Let me give you guys some love. I'll show you what we're talking about here. This is not a bad floor plan, by the way. This is not bad. So don't get it twisted. But it's not SSN Nation approved. Here, let me see if we can do this. And I am going to change this up. I have to. Hold on. Let's see here. Here we go. Let's see if we can show this right here. Check this out. Nope, we can't show it. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I'll have to fix the picture later. I think it's because we got flips on. Let's see. See if I can freeze this up. I guess this will freeze it up. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. What does that look like? Does that look like 4 cars parked? Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Does that look like a pool in the back? Yes, it is. You see that right there? It's going to be changed up. The reason why is because the staircase is in the middle of the place. We ain't doing that. What we're doing is that space right there, we need to use it. So we're going to have a rise coming in on the right-hand side. When you come in the house, you'll be able to go upstairs on the right-hand side rail, come off to a landing, which will be a loft area upstairs. So therefore, that opens up, that whole area will be open. And therefore, we got our open concept at a better way, in my opinion. And that also means I can do some other things because now I just eliminated that 8-foot space. Now I can utilize that 8-foot space for something. Just saying. All right. It's going to be SSN Nation approved. So, and we're going to increase. That is only the 2,475 square foot plan, which means the rooms must be very small if you have 5 bedrooms in this joint. So now we're adding on an extra 500 square feet. 525 square feet, which is the equivalent of a 1-bedroom generally. We're adding that. So that gives you an idea of the space that we're going to add to this. So now 5 bedrooms will make much more sense and space will make much more sense. And it's going to be off the charts. Now, inside Vistacana, off the charts. That's number 1. And a villa. See, it's going to be sweet. And of course, SSN Nation members, hey, if you're in the club, you can get discount rates when you go stay there too. and you can hang in the villa. All right? Just saying. Got opportunities all over the place as it starts. And the SSN Lifestyle Club is going to be all over the island. You heard me. I'm giving you hints here. It's going to be all over the island. And the favorite one I have that's coming up is going to be at the beach. All right? It's going to be at the beach, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here first. All right? At the beach. And it's going to be off the charts. There's something that I have put together that is so spectacular, in my opinion. You guys are going to be like, what the hell? Who is this guy? That's what you're going to say. I'm guaranteeing it, because I'll just give you some teasers. I told you about this a little bit before. I am making 3-tier, 2-bedroom, 3-bathroom units that are going to be ocean front. You walk outside your unit, you'll be in the water after about 20 to 25 paces. Water will be brushing up on you, okay? That's what I'm saying. That means you have ocean view, whether you're on the first, second, third level. Now, if I get my way, the third level is actually going to have a penthouse attached to it. So that means whoever gets the third level ownership, that means you'll even have a deck up top. It's going to be cool as hell. So that's what's coming, ladies and gentlemen. That's just a teaser. And yeah, it's in one of the world famous places, beach areas. And just so you guys don't get it twisted, they are charging over $1,000 per night to stay at the next door neighbor spot. What I mean by next door neighbors, I'm talking about resorts. The next door resorts, people are paying $1,000 plus per night. And I mean a lot of plus, like $1,400, $1,500, $1,600. And all they have is a freaking 1-bedroom per night. And I will give a caveat, because it's an all-inclusive package. But I don't have a problem with $800, $900 per night. And I damn sure don't have a problem with saying you want all-inclusive. Hell, you can go hang out the bars and get drinks and stuff if you want to pay $1,600 per day. Go for it. Go for it. Yeah, give you another clue. Restaurant, bar. Oh, and owners. Yeah, you guys already know I told you about Palomar. All right, let's wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. Playtime is over. We're about to take over, and we're going to do it the right way. That benefits the people that are buying, benefits us who's selling, benefits everybody. We don't want anybody to lose. All right, so we're going to make it happen. So with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here, ladies and gentlemen, and this is why sometimes I have to go to the extreme and start giving you a little motivation to kick in the behind, because you don't understand what I talked about 4 or 5 years ago actually came to fruition when I said it's going to cost you a lot more than it was going to cost you then. It has happened as it was supposed to. We were printing money, and we still are printing money out of thin air. That means inflation is automatic. It can't be stopped. And by bailing out banks and banks stealing your money, that is not helping either, because you're taking the money out of the money supply that people would have been circulating, and some people are hoarding. So again, this is not good. One of the problems with capitalist society is that. So just keep this in mind. You have to be a big boy now. You have to be a big girl now, a big woman now. You have to be in the club. You have to say, I need assets. Don't talk to me unless you're grabbing assets. Don't come join the party unless you're grabbing assets that pay you, not liabilities, assets pay you while you're sleeping. We have a qualifier here. Some people go, an asset is gold, an asset is silver. Well, when I'm sleeping, what does my gold and silver do for me? Absolutely nothing. I need asset that pays me while I'm sleeping. Asset pays me while I'm sick, while I'm in the hospital getting an operation I can't get up for 30, 40, 50, 6 months. That's what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. What are assets? They come in different forms. even though I do talk about this is a no guru zone and we don't charge for books and all that, but that is an asset too. If you actually are trying to get people to buy your books or buy your courses, that's an asset because you are on the internet. And if you go on vacation or getting health-wise, something happens, you have people still buying your course or your book. It's that simple. You make music, you get royalties. It's that simple. That's an asset. It's simple. So you want to keep joining the party, ladies and gentlemen? We'll come along for the ride. I put in the WhatsApp link so you can join the WhatsApp group so there can be lots of discussion because we have so many investors from all different walks of life who have invested in so many different things. Marlon Jordan was here on Monday. He gave the biggest super chat of all time. So I want to thank him again. We also had Carleon King come in and say, which I was very, very happy to hear, that he started something we talked about a couple years back, maybe even 3 years back, when we were talking about getting pallets and then reselling some of those. He said that's what he did, and he's like loving life. He said he's being successful at it, making profit at it. So that was very, very nice to hear. So I appreciated him coming in saying, hey, we're helping. We're helping, ladies and gentlemen. A rising tide lifts all boats. And we're about to help a hell of a lot more people because we're about to have the contract that's about to upset the island, because the contract that we're going to have is going to be the standard, and other people are going to say, hey, man, why am I going to buy from you when these guys are saying that if they don't deliver on time, that if they're going to do this, that we have all the stipulations so the ordinary citizens win. We're not going to sit up here and falter and then try to blame it on the people that is buying. That is absurd. We should be taking the heat. We're the ones, the developers. We're the developers of the project. So we should be taking the heat. We shouldn't be putting this responsibility upon the investor, the buyer, because they're investing in us because they saw the renderings. They saw our videos. They saw what we were talking about. And then it's disingenuous to be 4 or 5 years later talking about, oh, yeah, well, sue me. That is BS. So we're coming. We're holding you accountable, ladies and gentlemen. So either way, you can go with the old standard, but that's fine. I have no problem with that. Just don't come whining later. You can whine right now because I wasn't in the game. Now I'm going to be in the game. You can't whine. If you buy from somebody else, so be it. I have no problem with that. But you can't sit here and whine about it, because I'm just going to look at you like, well, hey, we had some project over here. We're building it, and we built it on time, and it did cost less than what you bought that other thing for. And what do you want me to do about it? But don't worry, that doesn't get off these clowns off the hook, because I got to make 2 videos about these scam artists over here in the DR messing up our game. All right, that's another thing, messing up our game out here. So don't worry, we coming to be regulators, so to speak, and take over at the same time. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking a lot of smack, but it's going down. So with all that said, just make sure you guys know I love you very much. I appreciate your support. I appreciate everything, because of you guys, I've actually keep coming back, doing live streams. I keep doing videos because it's been like a love fest. I love you guys, and I appreciate your support. So once again, make sure you show up on Friday night. We'll have some more discussion, and I'd greatly appreciate it. And with all that said, stay out of trouble. Everybody's under stress and duress, a large percentage of the population. So make sure you understand. You don't understand where they're coming from. So maybe step back, step away. Don't have to actually engage. Try to avoid any conflicts, because you are an asset. Because without you, nothing else can go. And you got to be in the right mind. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.